Hey guys, Jeff here, Dice Setters. I'm coming to you today just one day later than I should. I don't know if you watch the news or not or really know where I'm at. I am above Phoenix and we are watching a fire, and the fire is called Tiger. I think it's called Tiger Fire. And it is really close to Crown King. And in fact, Crown King just got, they're having them leave. They say it's about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 miles from here, from where I live. It's been a threat ever since it started, and it started during the weekend. Lightning strikes, they can't get to it. I'm not really truly worried about it, but you know, when I open my shop and I look out the view, all I see is this huge fire. So that's how come I'm one day late. I hope you guys forgive me. We had a trivia question, and the trivia question was, what do you call a bet that some player left the table? You know, what do you call that? What do you call that? You know, well, it was a sleeper. And the sleeper is a bet that a person has left on the table and has forgotten it and left the table. I remember when I first started playing craps, and I was not legal age. I was 19. And that one rule I always knew. And that one rule is that once they start rolling the dice and you have your point set, this pass line cannot be picked up. And they would look at me and they would go, "Hey, let me see some ID." Of course, oh, I forgot it. I need you to come with me. Nope, I can't. I cannot pick up my bet because the puck is on. And so they would sit there and wait until they sevened out or they hit their point. And then, of course, either way, I had to leave the table. So, you know, it was that intriguingness of craps and, you know, how you can play both sides. And it's always stuck with me because I might not be betting with you. I might be betting against you. I might be betting with the house. I might, you know, there's just so many different ways of betting. And you always seem to lose what you remember in here by the time you get here at the craps table in Vegas or wherever you might play craps. And that's why it's repetitive. It's repetitive to the point that I want you to think about it before you sit there and do it. Because we're here to sit there and make money. You've got the roll down. If you don't have the roll, you're going to have to practice. In Vegas, they have Casino Quest. Casino Quest is they have a couple of craps tables that are just like you play at the casinos. You have dealers there, and you're playing with fake money. But everything else is completely real. The dice are real. The way that they do everything, the way they play the odds, everything is real about it. You're paying for time. You're not paying for money. And that way you get your roll down. So if you don't have your roll, you've got to have your roll. I've showed the best roll I know, which is the 3-6, 5-6 combination. Dice Setters, not Dice Setters. Who was it? The Bone Thrower. The Bone Thrower was the one that showed me that one. Credit out to him. And it was because somebody was making fun of this roll and saying just how horrible the roll was. And I'm like, no, this roll is excellent. In fact, I had that roll maybe a year ago. I'm not for sure. I know I did it. So we know the roll is important. We know, you know, how to bet. But the biggest thing is we got to keep this a short game. When I play at Ellis Island, it's only $5. $5, you know, there are times it goes up to 10. Sometimes they have one table at 5, one table at 10. And I've seen people line it down with $100. And that's fine, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Line them up, $100. I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem of, it's the guy's 10th roll. Why don't you take down your money? And then they lose it. And then they scratch their heads, well, why did I lose my money? Well, you lost your money because you left it out there too long. We've all done it. We've all left it out there too long. You've got to have a short game. Whatever it is, you're going to sit there and say 5 and out, or 4 and out, or 6 and out. However it is, that's the way you've got to play it if you want to come home with money. I belong to groups, and you'll find them on Facebook. You'll find them everywhere, and people have a whole handful of what they want, and it comes down to knowing what you're going to roll. A short game, and don't sit there and put money out on the table for a player that you have no idea how they're going to roll. It's simple, sounds sweet, and it truly is. That roll I showed you, I've rolled it on 3 different tables, and it is 5 all the time. 5 all day long. You will roll other stuff, but man alive, I was at a table that I won the small on. I was rolling, and a guy comes by and puts it on the dome. And the dealers looked at him and said, "Are you sure that's where you want to put it?" "Yep, that's where I want to put it." And they're like, "Maybe you should have looked to see who was rolling." And the guy sat there and looked at me and didn't know who I was, but the dealers knew who I was. And the guy goes, "Well, I'll counter that with a 5." So he put down money on a 5. He put down quite a bit of money on a 5. It was like $40 on that 5. And then he goes, no, I want to move that to the 6. So he moves it to the 6. Bad decision. I rolled 5s 5 more times, until finally he took the 6 and moved it to the 5. I know what I can roll, but I don't know what other people can roll. Try only betting on yourself. Sometimes the table won't allow it. So if you get yourself a partner, you can sit there and one person be on pass, one person be on don't. And the only time that you're going to sit there and lose money is when the 12 is rolled before the point is established. Then you will lose half of that bet. But the rest of the time, if they're wanting you to bet, you can always put minimum on pass, minimum on don't. And if they have a problem with that, you can have your guest, the person to your right or the person to your left, play opposite, and then they can't sit there and say you've got to play during every person's roll. Because if you have 5 people on that side and 5 people on this side, and you've got to make it around the table before you roll again, if you're betting on everyone's roll, you're going to run out of money. That's why only roll on yourself, or only bet on yourself, and only bet on people that you know. Whenever I take people to the craps table, they're going to bet on me. It's one of those things. It's just you're going to get bet on because you're that good of a roller. And then you'll sit there and watch everybody else, and you'll see people that take their time, they dial it in, they know exactly how to hold it, and they're just killing it. Those are the people that you're going to sit there and put money on. If they're wind them up, let her rip, tater chip, it's a good way to come home empty-handed. So we're going to sit there and play the Iron Cross. You don't have to play the Iron Cross. I play the Iron Cross because it picks up everything, and it's not really going to kill me. I have 25 on 5, 30 on 6, 30 on 8, 5 here. Once I make my point, this guy's going to go off. This is going to come to life. I have $3 as a insurance against rolling the 2 and the 3. Minimum bet's $5. And right here, I have $1 for the dealers. If you've ever seen this, this is a player that's playing $5 for themselves, $1 for the dealers. When you do this, the dealers know that you are on their side. You're trying to fill up their little tip jar. I know there is arguments against it, and there's probably arguments for it. But this is what I saw. I saw this at Ellis Island. If this happened anywhere else, it would not have gone through. This side of the table did not put protection down on the seat. Normally, they all did. I heard the stick man say, crap check. No one said anything. The shooter rolls, he rolls a 2. Everyone loses their money on the pass line because the point is not established yet. And everyone's like, I always put money on the seat. And they did. They weren't lying about it. They were not lying about it. So you have 3 people. I'm sorry, I forgot. And the pit boss happened to be there, and he asked the other dealers, "Is that what they normally do?" They were like, "Yes," and they were answering it truthfully. And the pit boss goes, "Well, we'll give them back their money." That's what this does. It puts the dealers in your shirt pocket. You cannot remember everything when you're trying to roll. Where's my money? What roll am I on? You cannot remember everything. That's what they're there for. They'll go, "Hey Jeff, most of the time you do this. Is that what you want?" "Oh yeah, thanks. I forgot." That's what they're there for. You cannot remember it all. Unless you're only playing the pass line and you're not doing anything else. Then you can remember it all and don't tip the dealers. If that's all you're going to do, you won't need help from the dealers. Just $5 on the pass line and roll to your heart's content. If you're doing anything more than $5 on the pass line, tip the dealers. That's part of their pay. Just like servers in food industry, they're, they get paid $10 an hour or $5 an hour or whatever they get paid, but they're looking for that tip to bring it up to, regular 15, 20, $25 an hour so they can come home and have, make their house payment, make their electric payment. This does wonders. I ask you, I beg you, try it. See what you think. Yes, you're giving out free money. Yes, they're doing their job. But it puts them in your pocket. And when you need to use them, they'll be there for you. I guarantee you they'll be there for you. So that's what this guy right here does. I'm going to sit there, and I have no problems with doing this at all. Doing 25, 30, and 30. I'm not scared of that at all. I'm only putting $5 on the field because I most time don't roll the horn numbers. And I very seldom roll a 10 and a 9. But I roll lots of 5s, 6s, and 8s, and that's why I do that. You can do your own system. You don't have to do my system. But with this system, you're going to sit there and count. How many times am I going to roll before I start turning these off or start to drop them? With this killer roll that I have here, I roll so well, I leave these up. I will not press them until I have won 4 times. I've got to win 4 times. It doesn't matter. Once in the field, 4 times in the field, 4 times on the 8. It doesn't matter how you do it. 4 times. You say, why 4 times? By then, I should have enough money to cover once I start building these piles up. I want to sit there and make sure that if I do 7 out, it's not a loss for me. It's not going to hurt me. You can sit there and say, well, I'm going to wait till 3 times or 2 times, or you're going to wait till 5 times. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're going to start counting how many rolls we're doing until we do something different. So I'm going to let these ride until I've rolled 4 times. After 4 times, if I roll an 8, a 6, or a 5, I'm pressing it. And then again, if I roll a 6, an 8, a 5, I'll press it again. I'll keep on doing this until I finally 7 out. But the kicker is I wait 4 turns until I do that. If I start doing that immediately, this stuff is not bought and paid for. This stuff is my pocket. I want to wait until until I get some of the casino's money in my stack, and then these are free money. These actually don't belong to me after 5 rolls, 4 rolls, whatever you want to do. They would be somewhat free and clear. You might not be completely free and clear, but that's what I do. Wait 4 times, and then you're going to start pressing it up. I sat there and had some of my numbers pressed up to $50, and it was nothing. But I did wait 4 turns, and then you start, okay, press it up a unit, press it up a unit, press it up a unit. I had the 5 up to $50. So when I 7 out, did it hurt me losing that $50? No, because I waited that 4 times before I actually started increasing. I'm looking for that short game, and that short game is going to pay for all this, so that when the 7 hits me, and it will, it's going to happen. believe it or not, everyone that's rolling right now in America or wherever they might be is going to 7 out by the end of tonight. I guarantee it. I know it's like a weird thing to think about, but everybody that is rolling right now is going to 7 out. So why not prepare for it instead of lose the money? So you're going to wait 4 turns or 5 turns, or you're not going to press it out. You're just going to sit there and wait. That's fine, and take it down, whatever. But don't be one of those ones to sit there and say, I'm going to wait until we have a good roll. It's not going to happen, folks. And when it does happen, no one's going to be there to see it. I don't know how many times I've had a large roll, 30 or higher, and you look and nobody's making money. In fact, this table that you're throwing to on this side, they don't have any money at all. And then all of a sudden they notice, well, how come all these people have money on this side of the table? Well, because we were paying attention. We were paying attention to how many rolls we had. We were paying attention. So you don't want to sit there and get caught with your pants down. That's how you lose lots and lots and lots of money. And again, it's the short game. Ellis Island does not have a bonus. If you don't have a bonus to look forward to, you're going to have to sit there and make money on the first, second, third, fourth, then regress down to make up for not having a bonus. Because if you put, say, $5 on the small, tall, all, that's 35 odds, 35 to 1. You're only going to get like 60, 70 bucks from that. It's harder to get 70 bucks here, but you can if you know the right numbers to put money on, if you know what your number one number is, and you have a really, really good die set. So I've showed you all of that. Now it's your turn to sit there and pick out what die set are you going to use. It'd be cool if you guys sat there and put down what die set are you currently using. You don't have to tell me how you're holding it, but just, I'm using the 3-6, 5-6, just like you said. Or I'm using, the 2-1, 2-3. Just let me know in the comments. It'd be interesting to see how many different die sets there truly out there that are really good working. You can turn any non-working die set into a working set if you just practice enough. I have Sonny Smith, Uncle Angelo, and Pete Helms that answered the trivia question correctly. And the trivia question was, what is a sleeper? A sleeper is a bet that was left by a player. When I was young, I was 19 at the time playing craps tables, and I would always get carded. But they wouldn't card me until I had money on the table. And then they want to know, oh, how old are you? Well, I'm old enough. Let me see your ID. No, I don't have it. Well, you got to come with me. No, I can't because I still have the $5 here, and the puck is on the on, so I'm not leaving it. But that's what a sleeper would be. It'd be a bet that somebody forgot, walked away from the table, and it's still in play. The dealer's rule most of the time that if you walk away from a table and you had bets down, those bets are still active. But if you win, they go to the casino. They do not go back to you. And that's pretty much the norm for most casinos. So if you sit there and go, oh, I had that, and then turn around, you might not have it. So before you leave the table, check all the bets. Hard ways, they're always working unless they have a 7 or unless you get an easy way. Sometimes they're easy to forget that you had hard ways working. A come bet, because it's not directly in front of you, it's up here. I could see how that'd be easy to forget that you made maybe an early come bet, as you were rolling or somebody else was rolling and you forgot about it. But that's what a sleeper was. That was the trivia question. So if you guys can email me, it is dicesetters@gmail.com. Give me your addresses. I'll sit there and send you out something. And I do have a trivia question, but I'll keep it till next week. I'll just keep it till next week. So be ready next week for a trivia question. It's a really, really cool trivia question. There's a trivia in the trivia question because of where it takes place. It takes place in Las Vegas, and it actually takes place in one of my favorite casinos to visit. And this casino is known for its kind of riotous, what they were doing. And it still kind of is, but it's not like it used to be back in the 70s. But definitely, it's a really, really cool casino. I'll be in Vegas Wednesday. No, not Wednesday. I'll be in Vegas Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be in Ellis Island. If you want to sit there and hook up, roll, that's fantastic. Email me, dicehitters@gmail.com. And I'll see you guys next week. And hopefully, I'll be on time. And hopefully, we won't have a city that got destroyed by fire. So keep us in your thoughts and prayers about that. Thanks, guys. Like, share, subscribe. If you're a new member, for sure, subscribe. If you're old and haven't subscribed, we'll take you too. Subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm trying to build up the, so that I can sit there and go live. I'm in Vegas all the time. Once in a while, there's something that happens. You're like, man, that'd be awesome to, but you can't. You have to upload, and it just takes more time. By the time you do it, you're like, not going to do it. But if I could sit there and go live, when I see something happening, it'd be really, really cool. And right now we're at 400 and something, so we just need a couple more. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.